Hi everyone, we're about to go live with Matilda's and Arsenal forward Caitlin Foord. Thank you to everyone who sent their questions earlier today. We'll try to get through as many as possible and of course make sure to get involved in the chat. Now just waiting for Caitlin to send her request through. Okay, just connecting. It's coming through. Hi
Hello,
Caitlin.
how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad.
It's looking nice and sunny there.
Yeah, the weather here has been so good the last couple of days, cannot complain. It's like
Yeah.
20 something degrees, but it actually feels like 30. It's weird.
Oh, wow. It's hotter than
Yeah,
here in Sydney.
yeah. Well, it is going into summer, so, but I didn't even think the weather would get that nice here, so I've been
Yeah.
surprised.
Oh, that's a nice treat. How have you been keeping busy?
Well, at the start of lockdown, I moved in with one of my teammates just because it was like going to be a long time to be by myself because I live actually by myself. And she's coming back from rehab, so I've just been kind of motivated to want to help her train to kind of make me motivated to want to do something. So I've been doing her rehab program with her, and she has like a nice little outdoor area. So as I said before, the weather's been so nice. It's just been nice to sit outside in the sun.
Yeah, making the most of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I've seen that you've been keeping yourself busy with a few TikToks as well.
Yeah, I haven't done it in a while, but yeah, six. What were we in lockdown? 8 weeks was a long time.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, I'd been on TikTok before, and I'd normally just watch them, but
Yeah.
yeah, I just decided to give them a go and get a bit creative.
Yeah, we've got time now, so might as well.
Exactly.
And now that you're with Arsenal, the timing of everything was, well, a bit unusual. How have you been coping with that?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously the situation's very unique, but yeah, as you said, I only had kind of 2 weeks with the team, and then we had national team, and then when I came back, that's as all the coronavirus stuff started to get really bad. So yeah, I haven't really. I've played 2 games. I haven't even played a league game yet, but yeah, I was enjoying every minute of it, and I was kind of disappointed because I just felt like I was really feeling good within my football again. So I just felt like it was bad timing, but. Within this time, it's given me a chance to get close to my teammates and get to know them as well. So that's been nice.
So you're keeping in touch with all of your teammates at the moment?
Yeah, we have a Zoom call once a week, and then everyone here is kind of in the same situation. So everyone's been communicating, and with training and stuff like that as well. Everyone's just kind of I don't know kept in contact, and yeah, it's given me a chance, I guess, to get to know people that not that I wouldn't have had before, but it's just a different situation. So, you get to know people differently, and yeah, it's been nice.
Yeah, and how did that move come about? Well, there's the Aussie coach, Joe Montemuro. Did he have an impact on the move?
Yeah, so I don't know. I was just open to, anything this year. And yeah, my agent actually went in to speak of another player, and I just came up in conversation, and that's how things, got rolling. And after one conversation with Joe, I've never been coached by him before, but I've only heard good things. And yeah, after the one phone call conversation, I was sold, and I just wanted to make it happen. And everything he had to say was just kind of my thoughts on football, and the culture that he described here and the players was, just something that I felt like I wanted to be a part of, and I thought would help my football in development, and yeah, hopefully taking it to the next level. So yeah, once that got going, things happened pretty quickly. And yeah, it was something I was excited about and felt really, positive about the move. And when I got here, that was almost like straight away, that's how it felt as well. So even though this has all happened, it still does feel like the right move for me.
Yeah, that's really good, and it must be so awesome joining such a successful team as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you look at it like that as well, it's an amazing club, one of the best in the world. So, yeah, it's exciting, and just being in those facilities as well, it kind of felt a bit crazy. But yeah, I guess when I go back, that's still very new to me, so it'll be just as exciting.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Now we'll get through some of the questions that were sent through today. There was so many, so try to get through as many as possible.
Yeah.
Andrea D2 has asked, what shows are you currently watching?
I think every sports person probably right now is watching the Last Dance, the Michael Jordan one. So I watch. I've got to watch the last two episodes of that, which I'll probably do today, and then I was watching Money Heist as well, which I finished.
Oh,
So waiting for the new season to come out, but that's kind of it. Oh, I did watch Too Hot to Handle as well. I do love
yeah.
reality TV.
Yeah, I watched that one.
Yeah,
It's such trash, but it's so good.
yeah, you can't stop.
Yeah. And what are your thoughts on The Last Dance? I finished it last night and I just think it's so great.
Yeah. Well, I always knew Michael Jordan was so good, and he was such a good player. But then seeing just how he, thinks is, I never knew that side of it, and just how he gets himself motivated for games, and yeah, it's even more incredible now that you see that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah, and as a sports person, have you come across any sort of people that have that sort of mentality?
Um, I mean, I think bits and pieces in people, but not to that extent.
Mm.
Not the way that he carries himself and day in day out. I think the biggest thing for me was, you know, like he said, all the things that he says, he makes sure he's doing himself. Whereas there are some people that will say it, but then you see them not doing it, and it
Mm.
doesn't really you can't do that. So I think for him to live up to that as well, it does make a massive difference.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's so interesting to see and hear the mentality that he had while he was playing. It's incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, some more questions. We are MacArthur Rams women want to know, how have you stayed motivated during lockdown? What does your self-talk sound like?
To be fair, at the very start of lockdown, I lost all my motivation, just purely because it got to a point once the Olympics got cancelled. It was like, well, what am I training for? So I just kind of hit a flat, and to be honest, I had a week off, just to refresh, because I've never even had that in my career before, to have some time off. So I just felt like that was what I needed, and then since then, I've just been doing things that I wouldn't normally get to do, like play tennis now, go to the basketball court, just things that I would never be able to do, and hit workouts, YouTube workouts, just things I would never ever think of doing before, just to kind of keep variety and keep motivated.
Yeah, so are you enjoying this time off?
Yeah, I actually have, again, like I said, to refresh and just to do other things, and kind of, we're always on a schedule as well. It's like we have training here, this, that, whereas everything's just been on my own accord, which I've never had as well. So that's
Yeah.
kind of been nice that I can just do it whenever I feel like doing it.
Yeah, a bit of freedom.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we've got a question here from Kayla Todd. She's asking, have you got any tips for younger footballers wanting to continue their football career?
Yeah, I think for me, I've realized that, when I'm playing my best football and, just enjoying it, is when I'm having fun, and when I overthink the game too much, or, I guess trying too hard, that's when, I'm not enjoying it anymore. So yeah, I think it's just enjoy it. If a younger age and you're playing with your friends, that's where I'd have my most fun. So just whatever makes you happy.
Yeah. Josh Maylard has asked, what's it like playing alongside Sam Kerr? What type of character is she like?
Yeah, I've played with Sam obviously since a young age. I think we started together at 14. We've played against each other. We've played, as teammates for a very long time as well. So yeah, I mean, I think playing with someone that long, you just kind of get each other. So it's always enjoyable when we're playing together, as well as like Emily Van Egmond and Alana Kennedy. We've played so many years together, so it's just kind of like that person. So it's just
Yeah.
easy to play alongside those players.
Yeah, and you played against Sam, didn't you?
Yeah, in the cup final.
Yeah, what was
We
that
did.
like?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I was in a strange position to start off with because obviously I'd come into the team and hadn't played any games leading into that game, and then I'm straight into the cup final. So that was a bit strange for me, but obviously as well, Sam on the other team. I think it was just exciting knowing that someone's going to come out a winner and be the first Aussie to do it. So yeah, I mean, always to get up for a final is a massive game, but to have a familiar face there as well, it was fun.
Yeah, it would have been a bit comforting to have her there as well.
Yeah, it was. I mean, when we walked out to see the field and just seeing someone that I knew because I didn't really know anyone here yet, so it
Yeah.
was just exciting to see her and to have a bit of a conversation and a bit of a joke, and then yeah, go out and play and continue the same afterwards.
Yeah, great. Alex Marin here is asking, how's your German?
My German, I don't. My roommate's Swiss, so I've been trying to learn a bit of Swiss German, but yeah, she tells me the words, and when you haven't learned another language before, it's really hard. So I just forget straight away.
Do you remember anything? Like hello?
uh, a couple of words, yeah, but I don't know. I'll give me a bit more time.
Yeah. We'll come back to that one.
Yeah,
Bronze MP Force asking, how did it feel scoring on your debut?
yeah. I was in a bit of a weird like point leading into that game, just with getting to the national team and stuff. I had this crazy run where I hit the post too many times and is unlucky. So I was just like, I slid the keeper and the ball hit the post, and I was just thinking, not again. Like I can't hit the post one another time. And then later on in the game, I finally scored. So I think it was just nice to get the ball in the back of the net because I'd been struggling for a little
Yeah.
bit before that, and to do it in your first game is always nice to kind of get the monkey off your back going into a new team and a new season. But yeah, it was nice. Hopefully, first of many more.
Yeah, it was a perfect way to start.
Yeah, can't complain.
Yeah. Connor Simpson 99 is asking, did Tottenham offer you a contract? He's a Spurs fan and you're his favorite player.
Nah, I wasn't in contact with anyone from the Spurs, so nah.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to say so, being a rival, a London rival as well.
Yeah, no, I think I'm happy here where I am.
Yeah. Michelle Morris has asked, what's your favorite moment playing for Sydney FC?
um, it, probably when we won two grand finals. So most recently, not last season, the year before. Um, obviously, yeah, to win the season, it was nice. But the first W League season I won as well. Both of the seasons kind of had similar a similar run. We didn't start off too well, and then it was just like we came perfect at the right time. Um, and yeah, it was just those two seasons. I think the team just had such a good vibe around it, and it almost felt like we were never going to lose, just with how well we got on and how training was going. It was just so positive. So that makes your football more enjoyable when you're in an environment like that. So yeah, both of those W League seasons.
Yeah, definitely. And was it really hard to leave the W League?
Yeah, it actually was really difficult. I've never had to go into a team and leave halfway through the season, especially when you're getting to the back end of the season. That's what you play for, the most exciting part. So yeah, I felt really bad and didn't want to leave at that time, but obviously that was the only option. But the girls made it a lot easier. Just speaking to them and expressing what I was going to do, and just feeling the support from everyone and everyone generally happy, it made, the leave a lot easier. But yeah, I mean, I was still here supporting them and wishing I was, there and could help. But yeah, it was an opportunity that was, too good not to go to. So, and I know, the W League's always going to be there as well. So.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Peter F is asking, who was your biggest influence in football growing up?
Well, I actually come from a family where no one played football at all. So, it wasn't like I'd watched the game and grew up watching the game. I just played it purely because I enjoyed it. So I think I would have to say it was my mum just, driving me and getting me to and from everywhere I had to be to make it possible. Without that, there's no way I would have, been where I am today with the game. So, yeah, my mum.
And how did you get into football? Was it just like playing at school, or how did it come about?
Yeah. No, I just used to play whatever game the boys were playing in the school playground, and it would either be rugby league, football, anything. So yeah, I just started playing, and the boys asked me to play their local, club, and yeah, I came home and asked mum if I could join, and at the time she was like, no way, because I was already doing so many sports. But yeah, she took me down to the first game and just to see how it went, and I actually scored 6 goals in my first game. So I gave her no choice not to let me play. So
Oh,
had to add
wow.
another sport to the weekend.
Yeah, and what other sports did you play?
I was doing athletics, surf life saving, touch football, Oz tag. They were all kind of like spread out over the seasons and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I think that was it. Just literally anything I could. I was
Yeah.
doing. I was
So
so
you're always
active as a
busy.
kid. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Georgia Colton here is asking, what's your favorite tattoo you have?
It'd probably be the one on. I have a little one on the back of my calf, and it's the world. But then there's like a. Let's just show you.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Australia's very prominent there.
Yeah, and then there's just an X where I live in Wollongong with a plane because I travel so much.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
for sure
much
my
easier to
favorite one.
show.
Yeah, I was like, I can't be bothered explaining it.
Yeah. Brendan Castley, 2003, has asked, what's your cheat meal?
Oh, that's hard. I think it changes a lot, but I don't know. I've been put on the spot. Maybe
Well,
like a pizza or yeah, I don't know. In Australia, after every W League game, I'd go get grilled. I don't know if that's much of a cheap meal, but a burger and chips always goes down
yeah.
well.
Yeah, grilled is always good. What's your go-to at grilled?
Summer sunset.
Yeah. What's that one? What's in that?
It's like the beef, and it has pineapple. It literally has beetroot. It has like
Uh,
everything.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Hayden Newman has asked, were there any cultural differences you discovered when you came to Arsenal?
Mm, not. I mean, our team's full of a lot of internationals, so I think that was a bit of a surprise as well. Just, I feel like the English accent is very, kind of hard sometimes to understand when, they're speaking very fast, but then also all the other nationalities put into it. I caught myself a couple of times being like, huh? And making people repeat themselves because there were so many different accents. It was just kind of like
Yeah.
switching on and off to so many different ones. It was hard to hear everyone.
Yeah, to keep up with it.
Yeah.
And I guess like you wouldn't have seen much of like London at the moment as well because of the lockdown. So
Hmm.
you wouldn't be able to see too many of the cultural differences.
Yeah, no, I haven't been into London at all since I got here just because the first 2 weeks I got here, I know when Sam got here to London, she got really sick just because of the cold weather and the change coming from summer.
Yeah.
So I knew I would only be here for that 2 week period. So I just wanted to make sure I didn't get sick and so I would be okay to play. So I didn't go into London or I wasn't outside that much. But I have been here before and been into London, but not, you know, I haven't seen it how I would be able to now. So hopefully, when the restrictions lower down a little bit and things start to open, I'll be able to head into there.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And do you have any word on when the football will be back?
Nah, it's kind of just a waiting game at the moment. Yeah, just waiting to find out what's going to happen. So yeah, now I think in a very similar situation to a lot of other people as well at the moment. Just
Yeah.
waiting.
And did you have the option of coming back home?
Yeah, yeah. We everyone had the option because we didn't know how long it was going to be, but you know, living in Australia, it's a lot further than a lot of the other girls' hometown. So yeah, I just felt like it was the right thing to do. I hadn't been here that long, and I just wanted to stay. And now I'm actually really happy I did because, as I said before, I got to know a lot more of my teammates as well.
Yeah, and it's a new experience as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now to something different. We find out next month whether or not Australia and New Zealand's bid for the 2023 Women's World Cup will be successful. How incredible would it be to have a tournament like that on home soil?
Yeah, I mean, I can't even think of it. It would be so crazy. So yeah, I mean, for us to have that on home soil and for Australia in general, I think it would help take the game to the next level. But I also look at it, we have, so many multicultural people in Australia that every single game would be like a home game to the countries, I feel like. So yeah, I mean, and who doesn't want to come to Australia? So I think, as well as us loving it, I think every other team would as well.
Yeah, and taking it a step further, how awesome would it be if the Matildas lifted that World Cup trophy here in Australia?
Yeah, I mean, all of us, that's a dream to win the World Cup, but to do it on home soil, that would, you can't even, dream of that sort of stuff. So, yeah, it would be incredible.
Yeah, yeah, great. Now, Christina Mandich has asked, what are some good habits to get into if you want to be a professional?
I think, there's a lot of sacrifices you make on the way. So, yeah, I think it's just accepting those and not resenting, those what happened because you can't live that way. And if you love it that much, it almost doesn't become a sacrifice anymore. It becomes a choice. And yeah, I think at the end of the day, all those sacrifices are worth it in the end. So when you win trophies and go to major tournaments and do special things, you don't think about all those sacrifices.
Yeah. Caitlin Cork has asked, what's the first step to joining the Matildas? So, how'd you get the opportunity to play for the national team?
Yeah, I think I think the system's a bit different now, but when I was younger, it was just kind of through the school programs, and then we used to have the New South Wales Institute of Sport that you would get scouted and brought into, and that would be a training environment with under so in New South Wales, Queensland, wherever you're from, and you would train with current Matildas, young Matildas, and then upcoming Matildas, and it was just a really good environment to be in and develop. And once you were in there, you just kind of were seen to go into the under 17s Aussie team, and then just kind of worked my way up, I guess.
Yeah. And do you think with those system changes, it's made it harder to find new talent?
Um, no, because I think more girls are playing now as well. Whereas we had to have those environments because there wasn't that many players. Some girls were still playing with boys or whatever it was. So I think there's more talent to choose from now. So maybe that's why it's harder to be seen as well.
Yeah. Sophie Alice has asked, do you have any goals you haven't achieved yet?
Uh, yeah, to win an Olympic medal and win the World Cup. They're the two ultimate goals. So, yeah, if I ticked off both of those boxes, I would retire a happy footballer.
Yeah. And on the Olympics, what was that like, being able to qualify? And just before everything went down as well.
Yeah, it was a bit of a weird one because that's when it started. How we were meant to go to China for our group stage game, and then that got moved to Australia, and then there was a delay with China coming into the country. So it was a bit of a strange one. So I think at the end of it, it was just a relief to get it done and finally qualify because it did happen at a later date than what was meant to be expected. So yeah, it was just a massive relief.
Yeah. And your preparations, I guess, would have changed, like you said before, with finding out that the Olympics were postponed.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, it was kind of, it wasn't a shock. I think it was the right thing to do. So, um, yeah, it didn't come as a shock once everything, was happening in the world. So, if anything, I think it works better in our favor to have more time to prepare. And as I mentioned before, myself, I haven't had a rest in, I think, since my international career started. So, a lot of the other girls are like that as well. So I think for our national team, this has actually done us a favour to be able to all recharge and take the time to get our bodies right, and now we'll have enough time to ramp back up and get back into it. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping it will work in our favour. I think it will.
Yeah, hopefully so. Bronze MP4 is asking, which team do you think will be the hardest opponents in the Olympics other than USA?
I think the Olympics, everyone there is going to be tough. It's not like the World Cup, less teams go, so it's harder to get to. Um, and the tournament's a lot shorter as well. So I think anyone you come up against is it's going to be a difficult game. But also I think the Netherlands have kind of come out of nowhere, and they have a lot of young players that are world class. So I think that would be a difficult one, as well as England as well. You see the league here taking off, and that's because of their players as well. So they would be a tough opponent.
Yeah. SR Cruises has asked, what type of music do you listen to?
Um, I kind of change. I go through, you know, different different moods. But yeah, I don't know. Lately, I've been listening to more like chill, just because the weather's nice and just been outside for a long time. So, I have a couple of Spotify playlists that they can go check out.
Yeah. I definitely will. Sam Watson has asked, who's the best player you've ever come against?
Mm, there's so many good ones. I feel like every team you can kind of pick out a player. Um, I don't know, one that sticks into my mind. I don't actually think she plays anymore, but her name's Thomas from France, and she's lightning quick. I just remember when we played against France, she was causing us all sorts of trouble. So, but I think she's actually retired now. I'm not sure though.
Okay. Ezra Fink 98 has asked, what has been your favorite tournament with Matildas and why?
I think it would have to be our qualifiers for the 2016 Olympics. I think it was something ridiculous, like 5 games in 10 days. So our schedule was so tough. It was game on, day off, game on, day off, and then two days off game, and it was just like you had no time to recover, and they were all very difficult games. So I think at the end of that tournament, one, it was the first time we'd qualified for Olympics in 14 years. So just it was a massive achievement in itself, but to do it on the schedule we had to do it, it was again a massive relief. And yeah, I think that feeling that we had, just doing something that neither of us had done before, that I think only Lisa and maybe it was only Lisa that had been to Olympics before, so we had all, reached a goal and a dream that we had all been, working for. So yeah, it would definitely have been that tournament.
Yeah. And what's the difference between the Olympics and the World Cup? Is there one that you look forward to the most, or are they just completely different?
I wouldn't say I look forward to one more than the other, but as I said before, I didn't grow up in a football family, so the World Cup wasn't, something that I was like, oh my God, I need to watch this when I was younger. It was always the Olympics. Just every sports person and every kid's watching the Olympics. So I think, everyone's goal when you're younger is I want to go to the Olympics. So I think that one is just a bit special in that way. But yeah, the World Cup's, the pinnacle of our sport. So yeah, I don't know. They're both kind of even.
Yeah, they're both pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Instaglano is asking, are you happy with your FIFA 2020 rating? What would you like changed?
Well, I don't even know what my FIFA 2020 ranking is, so
I think I
I
had a
can't
look
say.
before. It's 80. I don't know
Yeah,
like the attacking and dribbling and all that, but I saw the overall ratings 80.
yeah, I guess that's all right. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
that's pretty
really play
good.
FIFA too much either, so I feel like that's all right.
Yeah. Alex Marin has asked, what's the funniest thing that's happened to you since you joined Arsenal?
Mm, I don't think I've had any like moments like that. I mean, this whole thing kind of. I guess if you just have to look at it in a positive way, it's all kind of just funny how it's all happened. But yeah, there hasn't been any moments or anything like that. I wasn't there long enough for anything like that to happen.
Yeah, anything to happen. And I'm going to end off with a really weird question that came through.
Okay.
Boris Chatham has asked, pedicures, relaxing or tickle torture?
Yeah, tickle torture. I don't get my feet done. I only get my hands done because I hate when they
Yeah,
do that.
you're really ticklish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that question come through and I was like, it's weird, but I might ask.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not so much that it tickles. I don't know. It's just weird. Like if my toenails have color on it, I don't know. I think it looks weird, so I only like
Yeah,
getting my hands done.
yeah, it's a preference thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Well, we'll have to end it there. Thank you so much, Caitlin, for joining us, and it's been great. And hopefully, you'll be out on the pitch again soon.
Yeah. Hopefully, it's all good. Thanks for having me.
That's all right. And thanks for everyone who sent their questions through. Take
Yeah.
care.
Thank you. All right. See you later.
All right, see ya. Bye.
Bye.